that it is a tool to use, but I believe we can create the same tool and keep more money, honestly, to be able to make it bigger and better. I think a lot of people get in trouble when they say, I put it up on Kickstarter, in 60 days I'm going to have $20,000. Well, it's not how it works. You got to get out there and, your nose to the grindstone, you got to work. I would say that me and Steven, who's my writing partner here, I think that one of our best strengths is our ability to connect with people. And so that's what I'm going to pull on is our connections and being able to get this in front of people. So I think that the website, whether it be Kickstarter or Penelope.tv, is secondary to the hard work that it's going to take over the next 90 days to get out there and say, will you be a part of this? Hopefully that answers your question. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
With a house full of preschoolers, what's the EQ versus IQ? Is there something sort of scientific that you can address there that has that play? Maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. So we want kids to be able to see other kids handle their emotions properly, to learn how to grow up, how to have character, how to be patient, how to be kind, how to be able to control yourself, how to be mad but not mean, how to be able to do the things that I assume every parent would like their children to do. So that's the goal. So basically, we are going to teach Penelope how to be selfless and indirectly teach your kid how to be selfless. That way that you've got something to go back on and say, remember how they did that? That's what we want to do. Hopefully that answers your question. Yes? Yeah?
Stephen Posey, Adam's writing partner. Wanted to kind of add to what Adam said. One of the things we recognize is just kind of on our own, is that people with the highest IQ aren't necessarily the most successful people in life. It's the people that know how to interact with people and have the highest IQ. So the earlier we can get that started with our own kids and helping those kids do that, that's kind of good. So.
He should have done a presentation. That was good. Yes.
Are you familiar with Impact Productions over on Harvard? They have done a major thing done with puppetry over there, and they may have some great resources for you. So they're like a 40-person Harvard.
Yeah, I don't know all those guys personally, but I know Steven does, right? Like you've got experience with them. That's good. That's good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Is that yes, hi.
Just a question, half question, half comment. When do you plan to have the puppets done, and when you do have them done, do you plan to take them off screen with promotional events? And I just say that selfishly because I plan a lot of events, and I would love to have your brand out there. But the events for families and kids, I think that's a huge market here.
Yes, I didn't quite understand the second part, but I liked it.
do you plan on making it off screen, like taking your puppets?
Oh yeah, like doing live shows.
Yeah, live shows.
Yes, and something I totally forgot to talk about. I'll answer your first question. Second, something I forgot to talk about is, Steve's going to make fun of me for saying this. I am a childhood cancer survivor. When I was born with cancer. When I was 4, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, which is like the greatest hospital ever, saved my life. And they pulled it out. I had like 99% chance of dying. So one of the things that I did right when we got to a place where we knew what this was going to look like, I contacted them and said, we want to do a live show for you guys. And so right now we're in the works. It's a very long process because of their religious background and making sure that we are appropriate, but we will be. And so we're going to do a show there. We've teamed up with another group in town with St. Francis's Champ Camp over the summer to be able to do that. But I like to perform it all over town. I like to do small events. I like to do big events, both as fundraisers and as awesome events for kids. The puppets are going to be the first thing that'll be built. It's a pretty large chunk of change. I would guesstimate it'll be over the next 2 months, and which will be good because the first question that people usually ask is it a cartoon? Which isn't a totally negative question, but it'll be a little easier to communicate what we're doing. Okay. Yes?
You guys are doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
What is the web address?
Oh, okay. So I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning, but we begin this in 1 month. so you won't find anything there right now, but it's peteandpenelope.tv. If you want to follow along right now, you can follow me on Twitter at Adam_Bush, and you can also follow Pete and Penelope.
And had one more follow.
Yes, I'll accept it.
What are some other TV shows out there that would be your competition?
Oh man, all the television shows for preschoolers. He said a lot of shows that have to do with your EQ. There's not a lot. Sesame Street would probably be the number one. They go back and forth, and obviously they're the most successful preschool program ever. I have told people this, which helps to communicate what our show will look like. Our show is a mix between Sesame Street and Pee-wee's Playhouse, which is like the best show ever. I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning. Every time the kids enter the treehouse, it comes alive, and there are characters within the treehouse. Some of them are normal characters, and some of them are, objects, things like that. So I would say that anything like, it's actually not even on anymore. Anything like Bear in the Big Blue House, they did a really good job. They're Jim Henson Company production, and they sold to Disney. They're a really good example of what we're doing, although they went away when Playhouse Disney went away. So that's a few of them, yeah. But most of the shows have to do with teaching kids educational skills.
So have you used a lot of research around the emotional intelligence stuff, or where are you drawing the lessons from? Is it just you guys kind of coming up with it in the writing room, or how do you connect that to actual research?
Yeah, I'll say it started out just by seeing a little gap in the children's programming, something that somebody could jump in on. I would say probably the biggest bit of research we've done, and probably half the reason he's a great writing partner, is that Stephen has children that are this age. And so the majority of the time when we're talking about plots or the pilot or writing, it has something to do with what he's teaching his kids. And then of course, not just him, but we've got lots of friends, that sort of thing. So we're just filling a need that we see like personally, and that's kind of that'd be the big answer.
Was there a strategy in choosing puppets over cartoon, or did you just like puppets more?
The strategy was that we could do it here. That we've worked with people who are excellent puppeteers. I have experience. We've done it for a long time. It's something that I know. I don't know. I know very little about animation, and even less about 3D animation. This is something that I feel like is a tool that we've used, and I think that if you know it and you're good at it, you should try to use it. So it's just that's why we chose it. And I do love puppets. I'm kind of a puppet nerd. So. Over here. Sorry.
So when I was a kid, they had shows that where there was a live audience of the Tulsa kids, and sometimes got to be on the show. Is that the format you're doing, or is it going to be without?
There won't be a live audience. No, there won't be. Honestly, one of the reasons is because we're pulling on some of our strengths again, and that is just our relationships with cinematographers and videographers in town. We feel like that we can do a really good job if we just film on a set. Yes.
Kind of stole part of my question. As far as interaction, maybe not live audience, but are they going to interact with real people or real kids? Are they going to, like, will my son be able to sit down and talk with them and learn live lessons?
There will be some interaction in the show with real people, but there will also be interaction between the characters, between Penelope and the audience that's sitting at home. So it's a very Dora the Explorer, Diego kind of thing. So when they ask a question, they will wait for the response of your child. And so that's kind of one of the big parts of it.
Have you partnered at all with the Tulsa Children's Museum?
No, but I will remember that.
There's a lot going on there. Second, do you have music in your show? Because there are a lot of recording artists that do actually work with children's music.
Yeah, we are going to have a lot of music. We have a lot of experience working with a company in town called Creative Audio Lab, where we work with a lot of kids' music, and we do the same thing here. Obviously, we'll do a theme song for the Wonderful World of Pete and Penelope, but also jingles that will help kids remember what we talked about in that episode.
Just to bring from an abstract to concrete, how much money will you need to get the initial puppets built?
Yeah.
And then, kind of what are your targets?
For the puppets, for the sets, for the time that we'll need to invest with talent, and these aren't the only kinds of characters. There'll be some other characters and some editing time like that. It's going to be $20,000 for the pilot, and that's going to be a large chunk of change that we will not have to raise again for the rest of the episodes, which that's really exciting once we get in it. And that's another reason we chose live action. We don't have to recreate it every single episode. We can shoot.
Two-part question. One, is the pilot script written? And then the second part, you mentioned the goal of selling it. And so selling it, does that mean you'd sell completely the creative and you just hand it off to Instant by any other name and then you'd stay here and develop another project? Or sell it in terms of distribution and hope that you'd still be able to retain making it here?
Yeah, we're in the middle of writing and rewriting and editing the pilot script. So we're in the middle of it right now. As far as, I've gotten that question a lot, that second question, as far as how we would sell it, we're open. I want to do whatever is best not only for the show, but whatever is best for continuing this in Tulsa. And so if that means we're selling it off and to somebody that we trust, and they take it from there and we're able to move on to the next project, that's fantastic. If we're a part of it, I'm excited about that as well. It's whatever is beneficial to keep revenue going so that we can continue to create original content.
Yes. I'm sorry, over here. Can you tell us why you're rejecting Kickstarter and Indiegogo and what your resources are for an alternate funding platform?
My biggest reason right now for not doing it like that is I believe that we can raise more money this way. I believe that the platform of PeterPenelope.tv will work for us just as well as Kickstarter will, because we're the ones who are going to have to go out there and find the money, and we can keep all of it for the show as opposed to having to give a very large chunk to Kickstarter. That's the only reason. But we talk about it all the time. We're always open to whatever is best for the show and for the whole project.
Okay, I have one. Can you act out a scene from the show real quick for us so we can sort of understand?
Oh man, we're out of time.
The main question, I know you sort of want to get a little feedback too,
Yeah.
so we'll ask this a little earlier, but how can we, sort of the community here, help you? What are you looking for, connection-wise or feedback-wise? How can we help?
All right, well, this is the moment of truth. This whole thing was about the feedback, and really I wanted to know if people like you, number one, understood the vision when I communicated. Because if I can't communicate the vision, it's not going to go anywhere. And then number two, if you like the idea, if it's something that you said, you know what, whenever it's launched, I would consider being a part of it. So the two-parter is, did I communicate the vision well, and is it something that you'd say, yeah, I would be a part of something like that. Yeah.
So the best thing to do is follow you.
Yeah, yeah, for now, yeah. And then if you do that, you'll see exactly when everything launches, because I'll.
All right, let's give that a break. All right, we got a couple of announcements today, and Ryan, come on up. Yep, it is. So go ahead.
Ryan McDaniel, good to be here this morning. Wanted to announce a pitch night that's going to happen next Tuesday, March 12th, 6 8 p.m. Presented by the Mine, The Mine is a 9-month program that was split up into 2 teams to help solve social entrepreneurship problems, so also entrepreneurs are really part of it. And the way we're approaching our problem is trying to create a lot of money for entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs to be able to test their concept over a short period of time. But we need your help to get that pot of money in reality. So we're going to test this idea on March 12th from 6 8 p.m. at the Forge by giving 6 ideas up to $1,000 each in 6 weeks to test their idea. Pretty easy. Application can be found at themindtulsa.com/events. Free limited application. Submit that. Come to the pitch night on March 12th at 6. Give a 2-minute spiel to us about why your idea is worthy of this $1,000. And we'll announce the winner that night. So you don't have to wait to find out. You're going to know right away if you got the money or not. And we're going to provide food and drinks, and we'll network with the other entrepreneurs in the room that are trying to chase the same thing you have. So my name's Ryan, also Mike Noche here in the crowd. Wave, stand up, we're the same shirt and sport code. If you have any questions, feel free to give them a call. But once again, that application at the line tulsa.com/events. The event's March 12th at 6 p.m. after 4%.
My name's Eric Miller. I work for the George Kaiser Family Foundation, and Friday is the day that a lot of us in this room have been working really hard for a long time to get to. We are hosting a pop-up co-working day in the Ford building, which is an old warehouse built in 1917 in the Brady Arts District. They actually assembled Model T cars there when they got shipped in wooden boxes. But we are bringing in some speakers from LA, some people from Seattle to lead a community visioning process for what you want for a permanent, large-scale co-working space in Tulsa. So this is really important that we get your feedback. We really want you guys to come and work in this space for the day. We're going to have Wi-Fi, printer, scanner, copier, free coffee, snacks. It's going to be really cool. Port and Retro Den are bringing all this furniture. We've got a couple other surprises for the day, but we're really, really looking forward to, especially the entrepreneurial community, showing up, using the space, giving us their feedback on what they want in a physical space, what type of people they want to work with, and what sorts of resources that they want to be able to access. So Friday, all day, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then at 6 p.m. it turns into an art gallery and kind of DJ event. So we'd love for you to stop by anytime throughout the day. And this is really about what you guys want for the future of Tulsa's community. So we really want your feedback. Thank you.
That's Ryan. All right, now I have the amazing privilege of introducing one of the coolest guys I know. But unfortunately, he doesn't live here in Tulsa. He lives up in Kansas City. He's one of the founders, co-founders of 1 Million Cups, and he's just become a good friend of ours, and we're just privileged to have him. He was supposed to come a few weeks ago and got sick at the last moment, and so he actually showed up yesterday. So if you guys could give it up for Nate Olson.
Okay, yeah, my name's Nate Olson. By the way, that event on Friday sounds incredible. So, guys, I'm in full support of that, even though I'm not going to be there. That sounds incredible, and it kind of reminds me of what happened in my story in Kansas City. So I'll just take a quick opportunity to share with you how 1 Million Cups started and where we're at now, where we're going. So, flashback 2 years ago. 22 years old, just graduated from Rutgers University, private school in Kansas City, and had no idea what I wanted to do in my life. Wanted to help people, but didn't know what that would look like or how that would manifest itself. And I ended up getting a job offer to work in the entrepreneurship department at the Kaufman Foundation, which is the world's largest private foundation dedicated to entrepreneurship and education. It's about a $2 billion foundation. And in Kansas City, you can go there and see the Kaufman Stadium, Kaufman Arts. So, doing Kaufman, amazing entrepreneur in Kansas City, he built Mary Labs, pharmaceutical. Grew it, and he sold the company with about 300 multi-millionaires in Kansas City. He passed away in the mid-90s. He left $800 million in his foundation. And his vision was that he was a farm boy from Kansas, and entrepreneurship in that path took over his life and changed the city, changed his life, changed thousands of lives. And he really wanted to use his money to be focused on how do we help more people start companies and go to lives. So that's what we have the pleasure of doing, his legacy. So that's kind of the contrast. I get hired in this really cool place, the entrepreneurship department, without a job description. They said, help as many entrepreneurs as you go. I didn't know any entrepreneurs, so I had to be entrepreneurial, and I started hanging out with a lot of entrepreneurs. And for about 6 weeks, I went to every event for entrepreneurs. Most of them were after hours at a bar, not an outfit. all the time, but it's not that productive. If that's the only thing that's going on in the community. And I started, like, I'm just a connector by nature. It's one of the only gifts that I'm just really good at, naturally. And I just started connecting people. And I think, like, in 6 weeks, I kind of became the expert of who was doing what. And I thought that was really strange because we have Rocky Foundation there, the largest, world's largest, dedicated to this stuff. We have communication across the street. Number one entrepreneurship undergrad program. I don't know how to get the rankings, but yeah, they're ranked there, and really nobody has people are. How do you help people if you don't know who they are? You can't. So that was the problem. Nobody knew who the entrepreneurs were in the city, including the entrepreneurs themselves. So it's a very lonely journey. And long story short, I caught a blog post off of LinkedIn that I and there was a serial entrepreneur out of Chicago who wrote a blog post called A Million Cups. And it's about 4 paragraphs long. He said, more than anything, more than meetups, more than business plan competitions, co-working, things like that, I think that the change Chicago started is entrepreneurs being more intentional about taking popular. That was the past. And I said, what if we get Kansas City's entrepreneurs really cuts out? That was my yeah, go do that. So what we did was April of 2012, we got startups and came in, and I think it's too long this time. They presented, and 12 people in the room. We said, okay, come back next week. The next week we had 20 people come, and the entrepreneurs who presented the first time kept coming back because they wanted to hear what we did. So for 6 months we grew 12 people to about 100 companies. And then my boss said, hey, I think you got to scale it. Sure, I've never done that before. Why not? And so we launched our second city in partnership and that's become our primary model. In 2013, long story short, we scaled to an additional 21 cities in 10 months. It's blown up. We can talk about all the problems we see. We're a real startup. Failed already, like 8 times. So anyway, we're currently today in 30 cities. This program happens every Wednesday morning, goes across the country, except for a party program. And we have 3,000 people coming to our events, 55 entrepreneurs per week, places that nobody really knows who the entrepreneurs are, like in Tulsa, Kansas City, and Omaha. So anyway, here's the bigger vision. I think we've created the front door to start in Tulsa. So any entrepreneur coming to Tulsa knows that entrepreneurs. So the entrepreneurs that presented this morning, get yourself into one of our other cities. So now you have access to markets, otherwise you have access to some amazing entrepreneurs like Brad, Derek, Katie, Justin, all these people want to see entrepreneurs be successful. That's really the vision. We're going global with this program, have access to your state, to your region, to hosts, to global platforms. It's really my privilege to serve the organizers who serve all of them. So make sure to give them lots of hugs and love because they volunteer their time to do it. And I'm already over my time. Representatives, because that's what we're here for. But I appreciate you all coming. Bring more people. Let's blow this thing up. It's important.
All right. Our next presenter is Johan Tallman, and he's with TRBO. And basically, what it is an e-commerce JavaScript business to business. So if you guys could give it up for Johan Tallman.
Thank you for having me. Great, and it is not as exciting as puppets, but I'm trying to explain it in a way so it will be interesting for you. And it is a pure B2B solution, so my goal is also to share some experience we had when we started the company, how we raised money, and so if you have any questions about the process, I think that's more helpful than going over an application. We will probably forget in 10 minutes what we are actually doing. And the name we actually pronounce Turbo. Nowadays it's very difficult to get great.com domain name, so you have to be creative. And sometimes it's the other way around, where you find good domains. Suddenly it ended up being our company name. So what we essentially do in a nutshell is we work with e-commerce shops to optimize their revenue. One element is they can either sell to more people coming to the site, or they can sell to existing customers who are on the site shopping, sell more products. And how we do that is we try to use behavioral science to engage people when they're on an e-commerce site to either purchase more product or initiate an initial purchase. And what we've experienced, we worked with different ventures before, mainly in the tracking segment, and the e-commerce segment is very interesting for us because it's fairly inefficient. Like most shops you're going to are very static. You have your product categories, you're going to, you basically have to know what you're looking for, or you're getting some kind of promotional, or you code, or you have purchased with the company before, and they redirect you to the site. But the segment itself has major problems in a way that, for example, 75% of people like you, they place an item in the shopping cart, but they essentially never purchase that item. And most e-commerce platforms, they really don't remarket to those people. So what we do is we develop the JavaScript and then plugs it to the e-commerce shop, so we can track the behavior of people being on the site, how they navigate, what is their intention, and also we can predict what is the likelihood that they're going to exit the site. And when we realize that there is either an exit, that we can blend in promotional offers, more specific cross-selling opportunities to get them to either place that first purchase or also predict if they are likely to purchase another product. But in the essence, if you're on the site, it is essential that you stay there, and for the shop owner, it is important that you are purchasing. And we've also realized that almost 60% of people, they wouldn't have purchased the product if they wouldn't have received any promotional offer. And then also some of the e-commerce shops, they realized that almost 60% of people on the site, they wouldn't purchase another product if they would be presented with the right product at the right time. So if you're looking at a pair of jeans that works well with some other items, but sometimes those are never presented and you don't really see those products. So cross-selling for those shops is very important. And I will show you some examples how we implement the technology and how it will actually look like at the user interface. But for us, one important element is to transform that e-commerce shop into the store. Because everybody here is probably entering that shop through a different channel. You can come through social media, you can come through paid ads, or you're coming directly to the shop. And each of those channels has different attributes and different intentions. For example, if a friend of you, they share info on a specific product, and then you go to the shop, your buying intention is more higher than you're coming to pay it. And we analyze the data and we try to find the likelihood for that specific visitor coming to the site, changing the layout dynamically, sending specific offers to that person. So in essence, we're trying to transform that shop you're going to into a store that is based on your preferences and based on your user behavior. For example, if you were coming back to the site, then and you placed an item in the shopping cart, then you could remarket that product to you. And most of the time, that's never done. Or for example, if that product is not in stock, then we can see similar products, and then we remarket it directly.
Time on 6 minutes, Johan. So we're going to turn it over to Baron for the question.
So right now, Amazon.com is probably the leader in behavioral science dealing with shopping carts and checking out. Is this a product that kind of directly competes with the functionality that Amazon provides so that people that are running their own e-commerce sites can duplicate that type of functionality? And what is the actual product that your customer buys? It is a JavaScript package. Is it a JavaScript part system that they put into their existing e-commerce site, or are you providing an e-commerce solution that has all this functionality built in?
Now, we work with existing e-commerce platforms, and the JavaScript is fully compatible with all current shopping carts, be it a custom shopping cart or some off-the-shelf solutions. And all they do is they just plug in the JavaScript, and then we can control all of the promotional activities and also the tracking. One element we are emphasizing is to track that user behavior and get that data back into our system. And the end user itself, all they would see is, for an example, they would see some of the promotional layers they're blending in, and there could be, it could be a promotional code. It could be also a product that goes well with another product. And back to the Amazon technology is that we are trying to bring some of those ideas to mid-sized shops who don't have the capability or the resources to really have that technology implemented in their shop. So most of the time the shops get the idea and it solves a problem they currently have. And also based on our revenue model, we show them the actual A/B and split testing between different layers. So in the end, we actually show them the uplift between the testing groups, and our revenue is only based on the actual uplift of the revenue. So there's no subscription fee. It's also a very attractive business model to sell, because there's technically no risk there to use the solution. They don't see any increase between the different split testing groups, that there's no fee at all.
Have you done much testing on this, or will you be doing testing?
We have currently about roughly 25 shops, mid-sized shops where the technology is used. And some of them, it really depends on the industry. Like the clothing industry, it works pretty well because they're more driven by incentives. And we have some electronics stores where we actually see a negative impact on some of the things. So it really depends on the industry. We have
Johan, can you tell us a little bit about your team? And then, did you mention the cost of this app, yes, or is it just a big business?
We started roughly mid last year, and we have around eight people in Germany where there's our main development team, and it was important for us to capture as many markets as we can. So for us, the US market was very important, and we wanted to not only start, we have done that before, and it was a good experience, but to build two markets parallel. So we are offering the product in Germany, France, the UK, and the US. Most of our team are back in Germany. We're hoping to quickly grow the US market and promote our team, which is also, I moved to Tulsa 7 years ago. One element I've seen was that we probably can compete with Silicon Valley or some other great startup cities, but I think we can compete internationally. And I worked with the international companies before, and I always get that feedback that companies, they could be all over Europe, they are trying, because the US market is so attractive, they're trying to expand into the US market, but they are not really presented with the right opportunities. And it's sometimes tough for them to build an office abroad because they see there's so much cost to it. But it's not really a problem. We even kind of expanding on it, even going internationally. It's a very, I think, one element we can use to make Tulsa more competitive, because it's very, very key to office to deal with it. So I think build that internationally.
And the cost of it, yes.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. The pricing model for us is very attractive to go out and get new shops, because they really don't take the risk. Because in essence, we're usually running a 30-day test, and then we show them the difference between the split testing groups and between the different layers, and then they quickly see the increase in revenue between those groups. And then we also base the pricing on a percentage on the actual uplift. So most of the time we're not dealing with, especially in that online segment, it was very important for us to not deal with marketing dollars. So most of the time the marketing dollars we have to fight for. Because there's so many solutions that we fall in the marketing team, especially in the mid-sized and growing companies where they're large enough, where they have enough barriers to get through, then they are getting hammered every day with a new solution of tracking, optimization. But our approach is to go after the sales team, operational team, because it doesn't have to do anything with the marketing dollars. And this segment, most companies, is really underserved because they are not dealing with optimization. All they want to see is you want to sell more. And we give you a percentage, but it's basically bringing someone in the company to give you commission. And for most CEOs we're dealing with, or business intelligence, then it's really a no-brainer. You bring them to home, we don't have to pay them try it, and if you see an increase, we are happy to pay you because we can statistically relevant, we put those groups next to each other, and they can see that there's an increase, or there's a slight increase, or some shop when we run some campaigns, they see a decline.
What is that percentage? Tom? Percentage
It
that the-
depends on the size of shop. For example, the mid-sized shops, they usually have around 15 to 18,000 transactions, roughly 500, 600 a day. The percentage range between like 12 to 15%, and then for some of the larger shops, it's lower than 5%. It's great there dealing with maybe 2,000 conversions per day.
And how easy is this to integrate into a shopping cart area? Is that something that you guys help them with and integrate that with?
We have a great integration knowledge base. Most shops we work with, it's really copy and paste, and it takes them roughly 15, 20 minutes. Yes, we provide all of the steps in the actual JavaScript that you generate for our dashboard. They take that and all they need to do is to kind of paste it in their current site. And if it's an off-shelf solution, then we have implementation rights, and it usually takes about the max, I would say 30 minutes.
So just to kind of follow up on that, so I've got a Drupal site that's based on a viewer cart, and I really can take your product and place that in, and go back and module developers.
No, you can just get the code. We have implementation for off the shelf, Gentiles, we have a step-by-step guide where you can just put it into one module and then run a 30-day test to collect the data, to analyze the user behavior, and then the actual layers are kicking in.
As a site that does this as well, I operate the system on the dashboard. Is that something that your staff
it's fully self-supported, so at some point when the campaigns are running, we hand over the dashboard login. The companies can go in, they can create campaigns if they feel like we are, running a spring special, then they can implement certain promotional offers. We also feed in all of the inventory in our system, because one goal is to cluster certain product groups, like the jeans, or the t-shirts, or the dress, and the shoes, so they can cluster those products. So if somebody goes on one element of the site, they view that specific item, then we can also show related products with specific discounts.
So, as someone unfamiliar with this market, I'm having a little bit of trouble understanding what size companies you work with. So, I don't know if you could name some of your clients or clients who are companies that are around the same size as the companies you've worked with. Like, I'm assuming it's not the Macy's or a company that big, but what size company and what are examples of
So, we have, right now we have a couple shops in the US, they are fairly niche, and example one, we just started this implementation is Drysdale, and I was really surprised because I don't want to reveal the numbers, but they have a really fair amount of conversions. So it's not, it seems to be like a line first impression, really go after. They are very retail focused, but their catalog is actually very established in the catalog and the online. So they're having 5-digit conversions, transactions a very good shop size for us. And we also do we work well with the discount home for shopping. There's one piece that's kind of inside. They're not the Macy's, but large enough when they see the benefit of what we say.
Johan, can you tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial story, some of the things you've learned about business?
So we started the company mid last year, and we worked together with the kind of the founding team of 4 people, and we worked together prior to that point for probably 5 years. And I think one element I realized quickly with raising money is that the team is a very important factor, because most VCs, and we are really the second round of funding, is they're really going after the team experience, because they are kind of predictive factors. Like, let's look at the past, what they have done, and the likelihood that they're succeeding is more if they succeeded in the past. And two of the co-founders, they had mentioned this before, the company was sold last year. That's how they provided some of the seed funding, and that was a very successful exit. So with most of the VCs we're talking to, is if they see that success story, it is very essential for them to say, well, they did it once, they are probably able to do it again. And they really don't care about the technology and you do quality, but they really are looking for a strong team. And I've experienced that in the past with failing ventures where the team was just some mix of convenience. I think if you are in the midst of starting a company or having a startup, then I think that's one element you should probably focus if you don't have that team in place.
We need to wrap up. So to finish, what can we, the community, do to help you?
Again, Tulsa is very limited on e-commerce shop. Context where we can run tests with e-commerce platforms that can be helpful. And we are also, if you know someone, probably within the next month or so, we'll be trying to hire someone who has experience in kind of selling software as a service. It's also very difficult kind of
Okay, well, let's give a hand for Johan and Turbo. One more time, thanks to Nate Olson and the Coffee Foundation. We're really proud to have 1 Million Cups in Tulsa, and we're really proud of the community's involvement with it. So we meet every week, Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. We hope to see you next week.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Excuse me.